Hello folks, hope you're doing well. It's nearly 10:15 in the evening on the 10th of July 2020. Right, this episode is going to be mainly on the issue of unhealed scars. Talking about unhealed scars, I had to have a tooth taken out today. I've had a problem with the tooth for quite a while, but of course, due to lockdown, dentists have been closed. They've only recently opened up again. So I figured I'd phone them up to see if I can get something done. Well, thankfully I phoned out today and they had opportunities for doing it today, so that's good. I had to pray while on the chair that God would help me to do it, because the dentist said to me there's so much decay in that tooth underneath the filling that while trying to take the tooth out, it could just completely collapse. In which case, you would need to go to hospital on Monday to get the root taken out. Oops, okay, that's not good. I don't want that to happen. So prayed about the whole situation, and yeah, they got it out, whole thing out in very, very short time, really. Considering it wasn't very long at all. Pretty decent. So that's good. So hopefully that will help. There's still, I think, 4 or 5 teeth that will need to be taken out at some point, but the problem is, again, I asked while I was down there. I said it's going to be quite a while, probably at least October, until you're back to normal. You're going to do normal things. And they said no. They said it'd be more like a year before they're back to normal, doing normal things like taking teeth out, putting false teeth in, or putting other options there, discussing those sort of options or those sort of treatments. It would be about a year. So, God. I've got 5 teeth that have to come out. At some point over the next year, they're going to have to come out. It could easily get to the point where I won't be able to eat or chew anything because, I'll have so many teeth missing that I can't chew. So that's not good. So they're having to go at me about brushing the teeth twice a day. And again, 5 teeth that have to come out because they're either damaged to such a degree or they're loose. So I start brushing the teeth. Chances are that's going to be incredibly flipping painful. So it's like, okay. I've got to do it and hope that the teeth that are in there last the year or last until I can get them dealt with in a way where I've actually got some teeth in my mouth so I can chew food. So at the moment, I do have an unhealed scar or an opening that is going to close up. My hope was I was going to have implants. Well, clearly that's not going to happen. Not in that one because that's going to close up. Because my hope was I'd have the implants basically ready. That when a tooth's taken out, the implant can just be put into that position. Or at least after a couple of days, once it starts to close up, put the implant in and let it close up around the implant. That would be what I thought would be the way it would be done. Now, that's probably ridiculously stupid. You probably couldn't do that. But that's how I thought it has to be done. That's how I thought it could be done. Well, clearly, there's not really one done that way because if it's a year that we have to wait for normal treatments or that sort of treatment, then I just have to do as it is for now. Anyway, back to the main point of the video, this one. Yeah. In society, we recognise really that there are 2 forms of abuse, physical and sexual. For physical, there is usually evidence, physical evidence that abuse has occurred. Even for sexual, quite often there's evidence. There's examinations that can be done to check for damage or for anything that can tell whether there's been some form of abuse taken. it happened to you. But there are 5 types of abuse, not 2. It's physical, sexual, emotional, mental, and even spiritual. So, not meaning to diminish the importance of physical and sexual, but I'm going to talk about the other 3. Because the other 3 are the ones that really society just doesn't really bother with, doesn't really recognise, doesn't really care about. And certainly the law doesn't care about it. It's not a crime to abuse someone mentally or emotionally. Not really. I don't know if anyone has ever been arrested for doing that. Although it happens regularly. I mean, as a kid, I was constantly abused mentally and emotionally by my foster parents, who were my aunt and uncle. It was constant. All it was that constant negative comments, speaking down at you all the time. As a young man, I had a job interview. I'd go and tell my auntie, and her reaction would always be, why on earth would they want you? And it was said in that sort of way, in that sort of negative, horrible way. And from the age of really 12 to the age of, say, probably mid-20s, I had them speaking negative crap into me for years. And that's probably why I allowed people to treat me like crap. Because I was used to it from them. So I understand how damaging that can be, how it can have an impact on your life. Parents treating their children as if they're useless, treating their children as if they are a mistake or just a slave for them. It's mental and emotional abuse. And damaging, seriously damaging to the kids. Shouting at the kids all the time, calling them names, making them feel small. All of that. That's all part of mental and emotional abuse. But you see it all the time, you hear it all the time. Certainly from neighbours that live next to the kids, you can hear a lot of that. And they're good trying to find the police about it. They're not interested. It's abuse, and it's happening. And it's abuse that's going to leave some nasty scars. And really, when you're talking about unhealed scars, you're not talking about physical. Because generally speaking, physical scars generally heal. You might have a line there, a scar there, but generally speaking, the pain has gone. It's healed in that sense, that the pain has gone. Whereas the mental and emotional, no. And let's clear something up quickly. With physical and sexual abuse, there can be elements of mental and emotional abuse thrown into that as well, or to those things. So therefore, those wounds can be opened up because of the mental and emotional. So although the physical may have healed, the physical pain can actually come back because of the emotional or mental abuse that happened at the same time, that once that wound even gets touched in the future, that physical pain that you had can come back. That reaction that you had. So if you are a lady that was being beaten by your husband or your partner, and there was emotional abuse, you see a TV program that mentions something similar to, or where you've got a character acting very similar to your ex-husband, and all of a sudden you're cowering away. When you're sitting watching it, your hand is going over your face, trying to protect your face. Because that's what you used to do. Even though that person who did that is nowhere near you, the physical comes back because the mental and the emotional. all of us, to a certain degree, have unhealed scars. All of us. That's why I've been so disappointed with the church, is because really any Christian shouldn't be carrying around unhealed scars if they've been a Christian for more than a year. They should all have been dealt with. In the early point of being a Christian, they should have been dealt with. There should have been Christian counseling offered to every young Christian in the churches so they can deal with all that stuff and they can be set free from it. But they weren't. And that's down to the churches. That's a massive failure of the church. That's the reality of the situation. It's a huge failure. But I say within society has hugely failed its people because it doesn't recognize this. It doesn't recognize that people are carrying this emotional, mental, baggage around, of all the pain they've gone through in their life. Maybe a teacher was the one who was abusive towards you, mentally, emotionally. Again, if a teacher is physically abusive or sexually abusive, they're out. Mentally abusive or emotionally abusive, no, that's fine. Well, unless it's extreme, and then they might be out. But generally speaking, that's fine. They twist it to say, "Oh, I'm just trying to challenge them. Yeah, I'm just trying to poke them to see how they react, because how they react is important for them in their future life." Yeah, it's like, yeah, right, okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, right, we're not going to buy that one, are we, really? So that's the reality of the situation. Bosses. You get bosses who are incredibly mentally and emotionally abusive to young people that come on and start up in companies. Yeah, they can be the butt of jokes, or they say the butt of jokes. Even that, come on. Let's be honest about what that really is. That's bullying, isn't it, really? Someone comes into the company and you make them the butt of all your jokes for a while until they've been accepted into the company. That's bullying. You bully them to see how they react. See how they take it. If they just take it, then yeah, you'll accept them. If they react to bullying, then no, they don't belong here. Bullying is, generally speaking, mostly, certainly that type of bullying, mental and emotional abuse. It's fun for the people doing it. It's not fun for the person it's being done to. And the thing of it is, we all know that. We all know that, but we can still take part in it, can't we? I think it's fun because it's not us. It's being done to. Oh, great fun. Yeah. That's why it's important to understand about forgiveness, because if you forgive people and if you can name the sins they've committed against you and then forgive them for that, then you can let all of that go. That means the mental and the emotional can all be gone. You can let it all go. You can be healed in that way. The problem is, again, is that even through church, that understanding has never really been taught. That when you forgive people, you should actually write a list. I'm forgiving this person for this, and that as well. For all those years worth of doing this. The things you write down, that's what you're forgiving that person for. It means that's what you're letting go of. You're letting that stuff go. So write a list down. The people you're forgiving, write a list down. And then burn it once you've forgiven the people. Just burn it. all those things, and they're going up into the atmosphere. They're going away from you because you burn them. There you go. Bye-bye. There are other ways of doing things, but that's a nice, simple way to do it. You could shred the list as well. If you've got one of these shredders that, shreds in multiple directions, cuts it into tiny pieces of confetti. Do it that way. That's fine. Or do it that way, then burn it. if you want to. That's cool. All right? But best to understand that, I made videos about where people are, where they are, and we all have issues that we're trying to deal with. And your mental and emotional abuse is the main reason why we're not doing as well as what we should be. We're trying to carry all that stuff. We're trying to deal with all that stuff. We're trying to move on from all that stuff. And it's not easy to do. If you're not getting help to deal with it, it's a real slug fest trying to deal with all that. Oh, it really is. It's like walking through a whole swimming pool full of treacle. Yeah. Not easy, is it really? Well, not high up because you drown. We had to walk through it if it was 10 foot deep, but shallow pool. I got the image myself then. I thought, well, that's not really going to work, is it? But yeah, we all have stuff that is painful from our past, and some of it can be stuff that we've done and that we've said, that we can beat ourselves up about it mentally and emotionally. So some of the mental and emotional abuse can be stuff that we've said or done to ourselves. Still the same. When you write your list about people that have sinned against you, your name should be at the top. If your name isn't at the top, then you're not really being honest, are you? Who should be below your name? It should be God. God should be below your name, not because he's sinned against you, but because quite often we think God has done things that has hurt us. God's allowed things to happen. So we're not forgiving God because God needs to be forgiven. We're forgiving God because we need to let that stuff go. That's all. So put God on the list. And put the things that you think God has allowed or done that's hurt you. And forgive God for those things. So there you go. You've got your name at the top, God's name just below yours. And then you write a list of people that you need to forgive, and the people that should forgive you, etc. So you write 2 lists. People that you've hurt and people that have hurt you. So again, your name should be top of both. God's name either top or bottom. Either top or just below yours. On both lists. That have hurt you and that have been hurt by you. So do that. Get yourself set free from so much of that baggage, so much of that hurt, so much of those pains from the past. Allow yourself to heal. If you think you need more time to heal, then depending on how much time you've got, how much time you've already let go by, you're probably wrong. You probably don't need more time. You probably don't need more time. You just need to let go. I mean, if you've had things happen in the last couple of days, then maybe you need more time. But anything that's happened quite a while ago, you should have healed already. If you haven't healed already from that, then you need to let it go. You need to do that. Put them on that list. Remember, those that have hurt you and those that you have hurt. To this, forgive one lot and pray for the other lot. And forgive yourself. For the ones that you've hurt, forgive yourself. Ask God to forgive you for those, and forgive yourself for those, and pray for those people. Even the people that have hurt you, forgive them and pray for them. Pray that God will bless them in some way. And then, shred them, burn them. Set yourself free. We all have baggage, stuff we're carrying around, but at some point we have to let it go. Now, we can wait until we're dead, because when we die, we let it go. But probably a good idea to let it go before then, because we don't need to carry it around at all, ever. We never needed to carry it around. We've carried it because we've not been set free from it. We've not healed from that stuff. So, there you go. That'll do for this one. You take care. God bless. And I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.